Good day, Tavern Keeper.
Good day to you. What is your pleasure?
How is business going these days?
It's picking up. We've not seen many new customers, but of late things are looking better. The Malicor and the neighbouring wars have dampened commerce. The epidemic still rages, but the possibility of finding a cure on that island has given people something to hope for. Now that we have a city there, quite a few seafarers come by to spend their wages.
Has the Malicor really put a damper on your business?
More than a damper. They were soaked. When the sickness began to spread, a wave of panic followed in its wake. People stopped going out of their homes. They were afraid. I was close to closing shop, I tell you. And then, thankfully, the alchemists of the bridge said that you couldn't just catch it like that. People are still distrustful, as is their nature, but they are leaving home again. It's a start. I also lost quite a few regular customers. Dead or too scared to venture back. Oh, but that's nothing new to you. The city would have sunk in the water if not for trade with the new isle.
With all these sailors coming and going, you must have heard some stories about Teofredi.
Right. Even stories that my heaviest drinkers would have trouble believing. They say that man-trees live there. Dragons and gigantic creatures. Treasure abounds under every rock. And the source of eternal life is hidden somewhere there. Last night, some Nauts even told me they brought back one of those giant beasts into the port. Ah, but you know the kind. If you ask my opinion, the drink was fueling their imaginations.
I'm looking for my cousin. His name is Constantine. I believe he was intent on celebrating his departure last night.
There was indeed a party here last night, but it ended badly.
Whatever do you mean?
A brawl broke out. My tavern was shattered, and no one's paid for the damages.
I'm sorry. Amongst the rebel rousers, did there happen to be a young man? 20 years of age? Hair down to his neck, light brown? Blue eyes? Quite the talker?
I don't believe it. Of course he was there. He's the man that started the fight. I hope you've come to reimburse me. Don't count on me to help you if that's not the case.
What kind of damage are we talking about exactly?
A good half of my furniture was broken into firewood. I piled up the lot over there.
Let me take a look. Perhaps it can be repaired.
If you can fix it, I'd be obliged. If not, you'll need to pay.
This furniture is in terrible condition. The fight must have been extremely violent.
It looks as if it's fixable. I've seen worse. We'll need to build some metal dowels, but once done, we can make them like new.
Citizens of Serene, come to me. You won't regret this miraculous opportunity. Your time is precious in these dark hours, but what you're about to discover could save your life. Come closer now, good people. Don't be afraid. Come, celebrate the miracle of science. You won't believe your eyes. This discovery...
You'll find all you need in our selection. Welcome. It's such a pleasure to see you again. Have you seen anything to your liking? What might I help you with?
there you have it. You'd never guess they were once broken.
Are your boots worn through? Welcome! It's such a... Have you seen anything?
Well then, were you able to repair it all?
Yes, just like new. Or nearly.
That does indeed look like fine work. You know what you're doing.
I would hope. Can you tell me where I can find my cousin now?
Your cousin is either a very bad joker or a right good fool. He went and insulted a band of ruffians from the lower boroughs. Dangerous fellows. They've a storehouse they operate out of a few streets from here.
What kind of business do they run?
Several, actually, and they're all illegal and profitable. But you didn't hear that from me. In any case, if you were set on recovering your cousin, I would hurry if I were you. They're not the tender sorts.
Thank you for the information.
Off with ya. Get him out of whatever mess he's got himself into. Seemed like a courageous fellow. Who could down his pint? Anything else?
I am looking for a Naut. A young cabin boy who has been missing roll call for 2 days now.
A naught, you say? That's not a lot to go on. There are quite a few that come to my tavern.
According to one of his fellows, he would have been taken right here.
A kidnapping. In my establishment. You surely jest. Or at least I hope you do. I would have noticed. That doesn't hold water.
Someone told me about one of your faithful clients. A big gambler, it would seem.
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening the pouches of sailors coming through.
Where might I find him at this time?
Here? He would never give away his chair at his table. Anything else?
I need to be off. Farewell.
Goodbye.
Who are you? I don't recognize you. Am I in your debt?
No, have no fear about that. It's for a different reason that I'm here. I'm looking for a Naut that disappeared 2 days ago, after visiting this establishment. A young cabin boy. 2 members of his crew accompanied him.
Yes, that does ring a bell. I've played with the 3 of them.
What can you tell me about the boy? How was he that night?
He seemed rather nervous, as if he was worried about something. Didn't feel like playing, that I remember. And he must have been right to be nervous, if he's disappeared.
Tell me what happened that evening.
A rich merchant came in, with a band of strong arms. The kind of men you can round up for a few coins, if you catch my drift. They exchanged words with the cabin boy. The kid was defensive, not sitting pretty. And then they finally left.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breather. I needed some fresh air. And I think I might well have seen those same men grab him. But that was none of my business. I wouldn't have thought that they were kidnapping him if that's what it was. They weren't particularly rough with him.
Who was the rich merchant, do you think? A jilted lover? A moneylender?
No, my lady, you're in luck. It so happens that I know the man. It was Sir Fontaine, that merchant.
Where can I find him?
He has a house in the wealthy boroughs, just off the canal. A stone's throw from the Theleme embassy.
Thank you. You've been immensely helpful.
This man is completely owned by his love for the game. Do you think we can trust him?
What would he gain from lying?
I have no idea. But what would any wealthy merchant gain from holding a penniless child?
Oh, hello, Your Excellency. It is an honor.
Might I help you, my lady?
I would like to have a word with Sir Fontaine.
He is absent, but the lady of the house could certainly receive you. Enter, please. Might I help you, my lady?
I need to be going. Farewell.
Greenblood, do you need something?
I must leave you.
Oh, I know you. I've seen you at court. You are Lady de Sade. And to what do I owe the honor of your visit, Excellency?
I would like to have a word with your husband.
He is not here, but perhaps I could be of help.
It concerns a delicate matter. We are looking for a missing cabin boy. According to witnesses, he had an argument with your husband before being taken.
I see. I am afraid that you have been misled. You seem to have come to the wrong conclusion. The cabin boy you speak of was not taken. He has simply returned home.
Excuse me, but I'm not sure I understand.
Don't you see, Your Excellency? We got our son back.
I am very surprised. Several witnesses confirmed that your son had a fight with your husband, and that his men escorted him from the tavern using force. If he had joined your husband willingly...
Witnesses? In a tavern? And you choose to believe these drunkards over a respectable family?
These witnesses are all in agreement, and it is their testimonies that have led me to your doorstep.
My son was probably shocked to have found us. My husband and the other men might have simply had to carry him. A gesture that your drunkards must have misunderstood.
What was your son doing on a Naut ship? Why would they have taken him?
It is what they do. Through pacts and contracts, they steal away young children from their mothers.
What are you talking about?
I would have thought that a legate would know these things. But it is true that you are young and inexperienced. It seems that you have been protected from the turpitudes of our own nation and their terrible allies. This horrible, constant ransoming that they put us through. But I will not say another word. You will have no trouble verifying the details now that you know what to look for.
Where might I find your son now?
I cannot say, Excellency. You must understand why. Until the Nauts have set sail, we live in fear they will take him back from us.
This pact... It sounds like some fear-inducing story.
The Nauts wouldn't be the first to recruit through dubious means.
Excuse me, madam, but I haven't quite finished my inquiries yet.
If you would be so courteous, I would like you to leave. I have told you all that I have to say.
With respect, my lady.
Madam, you still haven't found your cousin. As you well know, we cannot leave without him.
Have no fear. I will bring him back in time to make our scheduled departure. Is everything ready?
I'm still without news of my cabin boy, but we will have to do without.
I spoke with a woman who told me she was the mother of the cabin boy. She claims that her son was taken from her.
Taken? Her son is sea-gifted. His parents were required to give him up to honor the terms of a contract.
A contract? But what kind of contract are we speaking of?
A commercial contract. In exchange for services rendered by the Nords, some families cede more than gold. In some cases, nations even trade some of their subjects before they're born. I wouldn't be able to tell you the condition of Jonas's contract. I didn't even know he was originally from Serene. But what I can tell you is the young man hasn't seen his parents since he was a small child. And ever since, he's been a Nord. Our ships are his home. We are his only family.
Be back soon, Captain.
You see anyone else who might be able to help us? Anyone who's not a Naut?
Sir de Corsilion is a veritable well of scientific knowledge. He could tell us a little more.
I still don't see Constantine at your side. I hope he hasn't been the victim of any foul play.
Don't worry. We'll find him in time for departure.
I certainly hope so. Would you be in need of my help in any way?
I've had a word with Lady Fontaine. You must know her. That rich family that lives near the docks. She told me a strange story about her son who was a cabin boy on our ship. She said that he was taken when he was a child, due to some contract with the Nords.
Who was a cabin boy? Do you mean he's no longer one?
They took him back to bring him home.
Well, that is very unpleasant news, de Sade. We need to do all we can to bring the boy back to his ship. Since time immemorial, there has always been a certain price to pay for the services of the Nords. Children born on their ships belong to them. It's the rule of the sea. But certain contracts are so important that they also require children to be offered in exchange. From time to time, the congregation has passed such accord, and certain noble families had to give their children up.
Are you telling me that the Fontaines lost their son in an agreement signed between my uncle and the Nords?
No. That pact ended a long time ago. This cabin boy couldn't have been a part of that contract. But Sir Fontaine has made a fortune trading with the Alliance, via ships.
Do you mean he would have offered up his own son in exchange for wealth?
Well, he probably did it before the birth of the child, and regretted it afterwards. But that is of little importance. What counts most is that you bring the boy back to the Nords as quickly as possible. Breaking a contract with the seafarers has always cost us dearly. Our nation could feel it in its coffers.
I will do my best.
A father selling his own son for a few boat rides. For ugly, that is ugly.
Lady Fontaine didn't seem to have any knowledge of that detail. That could be of use to us.
Captain, milady, we were given orders to wait here with the merchandise.
You're going to have to wait. We need to find a way to clear the access to the warehouse.